Some of the things they have to do just to walk through the front doors in the morning, it just would blow your mind.
Gang violence, drugs, death.
We have kids that's homeless. They go to Roosevelt High School.
Peer pressure, not to go to school.
Teen pregnancy was really high.
14 to 16 fights a day.
There were 4 principals in 6 weeks that the students drove out.
Test scores were the lowest in the state.
So many students had so much anger inside.
Success unto you, Reg.
Success unto you, Mr. Houston.
Victory unto you.
Victory unto you, Mr. Houston.
When Mr. Houston showed up, he gave everybody purpose.
Mr. Houston has made an environment, along with the staff and the teachers, to make students want to come to school.
Students don't care how much we know. They just want to know that we care.
To have someone who has their heart in it, it makes me put my heart in it more.
See me another Rough Rider right here.
When they're walking the halls or going to class, and I say success unto you, Rough Riders, or victory unto you, Rough Rider, it becomes a part of their everyday thinking. In fact, it goes all the way to the heart, and it lies there. And whenever they need to think about what they're going to do with their future, 2 things pop up: success and victory.
Success unto you, Rough Rider.
Every time I say it over and over and over, it drills into my head. It makes me think that I can become successful and I can have victory in life.
Victory unto you, Rough Rider.
Students want to come to school.
Test scores are going up, our attendance is going up.
And pregnancy rate has dropped drastically.
It's a loving environment. Like who wouldn't want to come to Roosevelt High School and succeed?
We've gone from 12 students per year to now over 175 students per year getting accepted into college. We're averaging over 1.5 million per year in scholarships.
There's 3 avenues in which for them to travel to be successful, and that is a 2 or 4 year college or university, a technical school, or a career in the military. We set high standards for them to help them get to where they need to go.
First I was going to drop out, but since my experience here at Roosevelt High School, I just love it. So it's like I got that I will attitude now. I will graduate from high school and I will go to college.
I'm really excited to be the first in my family to go to college.
And I plan to pursue a biology degree.
I plan to major in mass communications and public relations.
I'm the first in my family to actually go to college, and it makes me feel wonderful.
And I believe if you just have a family here like the Roosevelt family, that you can overcome anything.
Regardless of where you come from, any walk of life, when you come here, we mold you and we shape you so you'll be able to stand on your own one day. That's why we're the best.
Success unto you.
Victory unto you.
Success.
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 It wasn't long ago when Roosevelt High School had some of the lowest test scores in the city. The school had widespread gang problems, and attendance, well, was not a priority.
I think a good way to describe what this high school is like is just sort of uncontrolled.
That was a couple of years ago, and that was before Terry Houston became principal.
All right. Know you have a pass, right? Why you late? Get down there. Come on, get down there. But don't turn the other way. If you have a pass, talk to me. Where the hoods go? Okay, pants up. Lieutenant Johnson doing it the nice way. If you're not getting promoted today, that means you need to step it up a little bit. Okay, keep up the good work.
Today, thanks to Mr. Houston, the test scores are up, and so is the attendance. Students are in class on time, and gang problems are practically obsolete.
You on your way to class? Step it up, step it up.
I would say it's two totally different schools.
Move faster.
Houston has brought a unique spirit to Roosevelt High School.
Well, I treat these kids just like I treat my own kids at home. And sometimes you have to give that tough love.
He definitely uses tough love.
Van Dyke, where you supposed to be? Stop.
He's tough, but it's fine. You have to be tough sometimes. Like, that's tough love.
But that's the thing about tough love. He can be hard on you 1 minute.
Everybody should be out of the hall now.
And the next, he's giving you a hug.
You all right? Okay, good to see you.
To show that you care, it means a lot to me. You know, it motivates me more.
Even though I give them a hug 1 minute and the next minute I was fussing, but I think they knew deep down inside that here was a person who genuinely cared about them.
Hey, pull them up a little more. There you go.
And that was a big plus. And once we became familiar and comfortable with one another, we saw things beginning to change in the environment here at Roosevelt High School. Give me a hug. Okay, get to class.
That positive change is exactly why Mr. Houston was recently named Teach for America's Principal of the Year.
It's quite gratifying. I appreciate that, and I often think about that sometimes when I'm at home and I'm in my own quiet time. But the main thing is I don't let that keep me from being focused on the work that is still ahead. Good job.
No doubt he needs to keep looking to the future, but this time, so are the students.
I graduate class of 08, and I hope to move on and come back and see Mr. Houston. He get another Principal of the Year award.
Alderman from the 9th, you have a special presentation for us today. I'd like to approach the dais.
Principal Houston became the principal of Roosevelt High School in St. Louis Public School District in October 2006, and during that time he refined his leadership skills and has chosen to lead the staff and students by example. He has worked diligently to shape the Roosevelt school culture into an environment that is conducive for student learning, student success, and staff development. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Aldermen of the City of St. Louis that we pause in our deliberations to recognize that Principal Terry J. Houston received the Principal of the Year Award for 2006-2007 from Teach for America, and we wish him, his students, and staff continued success, achievement, and accomplishment, and we further direct the clerk of this board to spread a copy of this resolution across the minutes of these proceedings and to prepare a commemorative copy to the end that it may be presented to our honoree at a time and place deemed appropriate by the sponsor. Introduced on the 8th day of February 2008 by Honorable Kenneth Ortman, Alderman 9th Ward, Alderwoman Casey Triplett, Alderwoman 6th Ward, Alderman Stephen Conway, Alderman 8th Ward, Alderwoman Jennifer Florida, Alderwoman 15th Ward, and Honorable Craig Schmidt, Alderman 20th Ward.
I guess I'm going on elected for 9 years, and the whole time I've had Roosevelt in my ward. And this school is a high school, and it affects the community, and it can affect the community in a negative way or a positive way. But one thing that we've never really had cooperation with is the principals at Roosevelt. And I'm not going to dwell on the negative part of it, because sometimes it just becomes status quo, so you just keep, doing the same old thing. But in the past, some of the principals, their attitude was, once the kids get beyond that fence, then it's our problem. I was kind of shocked. It's been probably a little over a year ago, and the Tower Grove East neighborhood invited the principal to come to a neighborhood meeting, and I was always going to make sure I was there if we could get a principal out to the community. Well, I went to this meeting, and then the vice principal showed up, so I figured here we go, it's going to be the same old thing. Well, boy, have I been shocked. You really don't understand how important it is to have a good leader in a position until you really get one, and I'm a believer again. This gentleman has turned Roosevelt around. He's opened his doors. He has community meetings. I mean, anyone are welcome to the meetings. And what he's done is tried to put an effort together with the kids. Also the kids, some of the kids come to these meetings too, and to try to get the cooperation and actually show the kids or help them understand how important the community is to the kids. And, you know, we really care. The people that live in the community that live in these houses, we really care, and we want to get along with the kids. When I first met Principal Houston, you know, I just didn't know what to think, but I want to tell you, you know, he leads by example, and he leads with love. I mean, you got to watch this guy because you'll get a hug. I mean, and it's all in a positive way. I mean, I've never met a principal, you know, that's been, you know, this outgoing, I think, in my whole life. So anyway, I'm very honored to be able to present this to Principal Houston. And also, while I'm up here, I want to introduce Gary Anderson. It's a co-worker that he's got, and he's taking pictures today, I guess, so Principal Houston can have some pictures on the wall, too, with us. So, Terry.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to Chairman Reed, Mr. Ortman, and all of you all who are assembled today. What I believe in and what I follow is all things are possible through Christ Jesus, who strengthens us. And when I arrived at Roosevelt, I can truly say that it was a job that not many people would have asked to undertake. But I also remember something biblically, too, that Joshua said, and he said, "Send me, I'll go." And it was some tough mornings that I would awaken, and I knew that it was a lot ahead of me. But these kids, they deserve the best. One of my philosophies is that they can't do no more or no less than we allow them to do. And regardless of how much I know or how much you know, it doesn't matter to those kids. They just want to know how much you care about them. And once we built a relationship with those kids, my staff and I, we realized that they were willing and ready to follow, because the bottom line is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And you can't do anything until they're ready to learn. And they began to follow the leadership. They began to follow the teachers. When I arrived, the test scores were down, attendance was down, and we had a lot of discipline infractions. I stand before you today as a blessed man and happy to be able to say that our attendance has gone from the low 60s to the mid 80s. Our test scores, they have risen, and our gang activities that used to exist is all but obsolete. So I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you.
I also want to
things that were wrong even during the Clinton years, and that, in his view, got worse during the Bush years. But he's really talking about a kind of some bedrock American values and a reconstruction of our system to make it function in the 21st century. And
talking about an era of responsibility, in many ways it was an indictment of our past leaders that they had not been acting responsible.
Absolutely.
How about this line, Nora and Gene and Mark? Our capacity remains undiminished, but our time of standing pat, of protecting narrow interests, of putting off unpleasant decisions, that time has surely passed. Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of what have we been doing? If we're lying in the standing pat that wasn't making any decisions, that was basically brainless.